Life is good, God is great. Melyssa Savannah Ford. What was that? What in the world is going on lately at the JBP? What is happening, man? That episode of Patreon had to be probably one of your worst performances, in my opinion. I could be wrong because I'm new to the Patroni side of the game. I'm new, but I've been watching faithfully since you've been on that show. This was hard to watch. I got a few opinions right now. And I want to start by saying, don't get mad at me, ladies, if you're watching this, but do y'all have an issue with repeating your point over and over again as if nobody has ears in the room, nobody that you're speaking to can understand the words coming out your mouth? You repeated yourself. And the point that you was trying to make so many times, it was aggravating. I got annoyed. I'm a supporter of you. I like you. I like you on the show. I defended you in a couple of videos because you're the only woman up there. I could like understand your frustration at times in a room full of men, not being able to get your point across or feeling like you heard. But when it comes to topics that they cover up there that are emotionally charged, I feel like you need to, first off, you need to watch this back and maybe you can learn from it and better understand where I'm coming from. When you get emotionally charged, you lose control of your mouth. Like, that might sound crazy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But you go overboard in your sharing of your thoughts. You need to allow space for other people to weigh in. You need to allow space for other people to also give their thoughts on the topic. Stop interrupting people. Hear them out. And in the course of you sitting there being an active listener, because being an active listener is a skill. Once you do that, instead of thinking about what you want to say next, hear these people out. And it may be based off of their assessment of what you just said. You can rearrange your thoughts. Maybe they can spark an additional thought and the conversation can advance. I don't know how many times you said, my point is, let me reiterate my point. You reiterated your point so many times that you lost track of your own point. Ish had to be the one to come in and say, look, Melyssa, your point has changed over the course of this conversation. You talked so much, you lost your own train of thought. You started agreeing with everybody else in the room when they were actually in opposition to what you were saying. That's not usually how things go if you have a point that you're standing on. Typically, you state what your issue is, or you state how you feel, and then you bullet point why you feel that way in a way that other people can understand where you're coming from. Then after you do that, you allow space for people to respond. Therefore, everybody in the room can gain a better understanding of each person's perspective regarding that specific topic. This was the Melyssa, you hijacked the show, Melyssa. Like, from the DDG Chloe Bailey topic, where I will not say anything negative towards you about that segment, because I do understand the emotion behind it, and I understand your frustration and the audience kind of like, voicing their opinions about you regarding that topic, not really understanding everything you've been through, not understanding why, it's as emotionally charged as it was. So I'm not gonna really say anything negative about that topic, but you did also hijack that topic. I can tell that the cast, they are aware of how the audience perceives not only you, but how the rest of the men in the room interact with you. I could see how they are approaching you with kid gloves. Like they're not trying to attack you. They don't want to appear to the audience that they're dogpiling too much on Mel. They're trying not to do that. But you're not really helping the situation when it comes to these type of conversations, because you let your emotions take over, and then it just comes across as a woman who just wants to talk over people. It's like you don't allow the men to articulate their responses. And damn, man, that was a bad look. And I hate to say it. Because you do have very strong opinions. You got a lot of life experiences. And I feel like the audience needs to hear that. But you got to let people get their own point of view across. Like, stop cutting people off when you're so emotional. Definitely suggest you watch this episode back. I think you'll have a lot to learn from it. Joe was patient as hell. I feel like everybody in the room was pretty patient, and they let you get your shit off, which is why I'm basically saying this was the Melyssa Ford show today. I had to cut off and take this walk and get my thoughts out, because I'm sitting there on my computer like, come on, Mel. Like, damn. You keep repeating yourself, saying the same shit over. Now you agreeing with niggas when they was not agreeing with you. Now it's just, oh, God. That was hard to watch. I'm gonna go back in and finish. But that's all I got for you, Mel. I hope you watch this back and see, at least understand what I'm saying, because I'm sure I'm not gonna be the only person with this view. I was gonna make another video about the Ian and Mark show. Another episode just dropped on YouTube. That shit was great. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian. You told me you had a good one dropping. You did not disappoint. I will say, when it comes to the Ian and Mark show, the plot is thickening. Mark is attempting to take over the JBP. He's appealing to other castmates, trying to get them on their side. That scene in the coffee shop was brilliant. Ian was tearing that damn chicken up, man. I like what y'all did there. Like, y'all pretty much switched roles. Mark was the white man in the hood. Ian was like, shit, I'm most comfortable in the hood. He eating chicken and waffles while Mark sipping a damn latte and a bagel with lox. That was dope. I like that. The funniest thing about that show today, the part I enjoyed the most, was Keeb. That theme with Keeb, that narrative with Keeb, creepy Keeb, when he popped up at the cafe out of nowhere, that shit was great. My favorite part that made me laugh the most was when Mark was in the room talking to Flip, and then Keeb in the background on the balcony. He opened the door to come in the room. Mark like, get the fuck out of here, Keeb. Oh shit, man. That was funny, man. I can't wait to see what happens next on the Ian and Mark show. But moreover, man, I wanted to come out here and say that was the Melyssa Ford show today on Patreon. We gotta, Mel, you gotta control that shit. Breathe, allow people to think, and allow people to talk, and while they're talking, gather yourself, especially in topics where you have a lot of emotion. That's all I got. Other than that, man, God loves you, I do too. I'm finna go attempt to finish watching this episode. Salute to y'all, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm out.